everyone, and welcome to my April 2017 beauty favorites. I will be talking about my favorite cosmetics, hair cares, and skincare that I had this month, this past April 2017. So if you're interested, please keep watching. I have all these boxes around me. Since this is my first favorite, I want to fill you in on my all-time favorites and then things that I have been using this past month, which I have been using my all-time favorites this past month, and then a couple of new things. So let's get started. So my favorite primers of all time, and keep in mind I have oily skin with large pores, so you know that does have a bearing on the primers that I like. But my favorite oil control primer is the Becca Evermatte primer. This primer is fantastic for keeping oil at bay all day. I mean, if you wear your makeup for like 10 hours or more, oil is eventually going to come through. But I love this because a little bit goes a long way, and I just put it in my T-zone. I put it on my nose, around my nose, by my cheeks, and I also put it by my eyebrows because I hate getting shiny brow, and I also put it in the center of my forehead. So I use that in the center of my face. And then the other primer I like to use, the Hourglass Mineral Veil. I use it on the rest of my face, on the perimeter of my face, on my neck, etc. And sometimes I just wear this primer alone, like if I'm doing just an everyday makeup where I know I'll be washing it off in a couple of hours, and I don't need my makeup to last forever, I'll just use this. And this is pretty good at oil control too, and smoothing the overall texture and just creating a really smooth base for your makeup. Now this NYX Honeydew Primer is brand new to my collection this month. I always saw it in store, and I was very intrigued by it. I swatched it in Ulta and it smelled so good. It has a herbal smell to it. The reason I didn't pick it up right away is it's not really marketed towards controlling oil or anything like that. It's more towards giving dew or glow to the skin, and as someone with oily skin, I don't really need extra glow. So yeah, I kind of held off on it, but I was trying to add some moisturizing primers to my kit, and I decided to give this a go, and it actually works really well for just everyday use. It does add moisture. It does add moisture to the skin, but it also doesn't make it too oily, and it doesn't make your makeup slip and slide. So what's interesting with this is it has a spatula, and when you pull it out you can see the primer is very gel-like. And what I usually do is I take the spatula and I apply the product to the back of my hand like that, and take it from my hand and put it on my face. So I think this is a good buy, whether you have dry, normal, or oily skin. Another thing that I've been loving this month is the Give Me Glow Cosmetics Staple Palette. Here you go. And Give Me Glow Cosmetics is an indie cosmetics brand that I heard about through Instagram, and they make amazing products. This Give Me Glow Staple Palette is the first large eyeshadow palette she's made, and this palette comes with 12 shades. Sorry, it's dirty. It's well used and loved, with very autumnal colors, and definitely friendly for people with brown skin tones, rich skin tones. These colors are very pigmented. I really don't have any complaints about this eyeshadow palette, except that when I hold it up with one hand, my arm gets tired, but I mean, it's a big palette. Another cool thing about this is you can remove the shades like that pretty easily, and then on the back it gives you the name of each of the eyeshadows, and I really love the names in this palette. So this shade is called Highlight, this shade is called WCW, this olive shade is called Two Moods, this rose shade is called No Filter, this is called Selfie, Hashtag, Follow Me, Adorbs, TBT, Makeup of the Day or MOTD, Ride or Die, and Dark is My Soul. And so I'll just swatch some shadows for you, but I did do a tutorial on this with this palette, and you can see a bunch of swatches on other people's pages on Instagram. But here's a swatch of Selfie. That's just one swipe. I don't have any primer on my hand. Look how pigmented that is. And then I'll put it on my hand like this. Look at that. Gorgeous, right? It's so pigmented. I love it. And if you want to blend it out, like it blends out so easily. So that was a shimmer. What about matte? So I will take, let's take TBT. Okay. It's a pumpkin sunset orange color. And again, we're going to swatch this on the hand. I don't have any primer or any oil or anything like that on my hand. There it goes. And if you want to blend it out, blends out fairly easily. I mean, it's kind of not moving right now, but it is a matte shadow. So it'll take a little bit more effort to blend it out, but it's very pigmented. Also, Two Moods. This is another matte shade. I really love that she included an olive color. So again, we're gonna swipe that right here. Very pigmented, very gorgeous. These shades are amazing. And I also love that there's a mirror in the palette. Like, who doesn't love that? You don't want to have to reach and find, you know, a mirror as you're doing your eyeshadow. So this is awesome. I believe it's $54 and it's worth it. The palette comes in and all the ingredients are on the back for you to take a look at. So if there's anything in here that you object to, you know, don't get the palette, but I didn't have any problem with anything in here, so it's all good for me. I love matte everything. I just love it. So of course I love liquid lipsticks. My favorite formula in liquid lipstick is for it to be matte, transfer proof, but not dry and crumbly. I don't want my lips to feel dried out and gross. So I usually put a lip balm underneath all of my liquid lips just to avoid that feeling. But I have found some formulas that never make my lips feel dry, even if I don't put on a lip balm. One of those formulas is the NYX Liquid Suede, and this particular shade is Soft Spoken. It comes with this, is this a doe? Yeah, a doe foot applicator that's longer than most, and I'll just swatch it for you. It's a beautiful, like, rosy nude on my complexion. It's gonna look different on everybody, but on me it's like a rosy nude. It's gorgeous. Definitely a keeper. And the other formulas that I love is from Gerard Cosmetics. They have their Hydra Matte liquid lipsticks, and the shade, one of the shades that I have here is called Share. C-H-E-R, Share. And I'll swatch it for you. And on my complexion, this is like a rosy, muted, mauve-y pink on me. And then this shade I absolutely love. This is Ruby Slipper. And this is a beautiful burgundy color with little flecks of shimmer, like reddish shimmer in it. It's absolutely gorgeous. So after you do your makeup, you have to lock everything in place with a setting spray. I don't know how I was looking before I started using setting sprays. I thought it looked pretty good, so I hope I did, but since I've known about the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, it has been my absolute favorite. It really keeps your makeup on all day, all night. It's amazing. It says it's oil-free, paraben-free, and has temperature-controlled technology. You do have to make sure to shake this up before you use it, because one time I opened it and I looked one time I opened it and I looked at the liquid and it was white with like white suspended dots. You have to make sure that all the ingredients are really blended in there. And then it says it can help your makeup to last up to 16 hours, and this is true. I can attest to that. I honestly spray this like 7 times and I go I get the neck and my face is like completely wet, and then I kind of like fan my face to let it dry down, and you know, I'm good to go. But yeah, this is awesome, and I highly recommend it. I keep buying it. I don't even bother with other setting sprays because this right here, this right here is real life. When I first started dabbling in makeup, I couldn't afford much, and so I would get makeup from the dollar store, or I would buy Wet n Wild from the drugstore. And I always loved Wet n Wild. They had really fun color options, and they were very affordable. And you know, fast forward 8-10 years later, and their brand has really evolved into an amazing drugstore brand that's offering high quality products at such an affordable price. And these products can really compete with high-end products, in my opinion. And I could talk about their whole range, but I'll just talk about a few things that I've been using this month that I absolutely love. First, the Universal Brow Kit. I would always see this in store and just kind of refuse to buy it because I didn't think it would actually be that good. But what I like to do is use a cream product or a pencil product on my brows and then set it with powder. So this comes with a brow wax, which I haven't used. It comes with this light color that you can put on your brow bone or all over your lids, and it works great on me. Then it comes with a taupe shadow, a brown shadow, and then a dark ashy brown shadow up there. And I use all three shades on my brow, but I'm so happy that they have a taupe shadow, because just because you have dark hair doesn't mean you need to go all in with a dark powder, because if you make your eyebrows look too dark, it looks really unnatural and not flattering. You need your brows to have dimension. It also comes with a spoolie, a tweezer, and then an angled brush right here. And the angled brush actually works pretty well, and so does the spoolie. I have not used this tweezer. Then it also comes with these brow stencils, which I also haven't used because I just follow the natural shape of my brows. I don't tweeze or wax my brows. I just use a brow razor and to get rid of some stray hairs like on the arch. And that's pretty much it. But yeah, these are the stencils it comes with. This one has a pretty high arch. This one is a bit more of a rounded brow, and this is a shorter brow with like a medium arch. I picked up this skinny tip eyeliner because I have the skinny mascara from Wet n Wild, which is another favorite for this month. But this skinny tip eyeliner is a felt tip marker, and I usually stay away from felt tip marker eyeliners because when you use them, they can pick up eyeshadow and then stop working because the marker tip gets clogged with all the eyeshadow. So far, this hasn't happened to me, and I've been using it pretty regularly. So you can make pretty fine lines or thicker lines if you press harder on the brush, but it's pretty awesome, and it's pretty black, as you can see. And what you do, you shake it up to mix up the ink, and then you use it. I love the packaging. I love that it's so sleek and skinny, and I love the black and the pink. I also picked up the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Mascara. It's not exactly a favorite, but it does work. I like the brush that they have, that they chose. I like the shape of it. It's in the color Nothing But Brunette. I think they have a blonde one as well. And it's like a soft brown color. The only thing I don't like about this is it makes your eyebrows really hard. So, my favorite brow product still does remain the Maybelline Brow Drama, and this is in the color Soft Brown, and this is a sculpting brow mascara. I originally wanted to pick up the Maybelline Fibers, but I'm happy that I got the brow mascara. So it has a completely different brush. It's like a normal wet mascara one that has this ball at the end. It's in the color Soft Brown, and it keeps your brow hairs in place, but your brows never feel hard and gel down. This is the Wet n Wild Skinny Mascara, and I love it because of the packaging. It's really cute. I like the slim tube, the black and pink, and I like the wand. It's super duper skinny, like they said. And this doesn't give a lot of volume, but it gives separation. It coats all of my little short stubby lashes, and it doesn't run on me, and I can also use it on my lower lashes, which I love. So loving that. Now my favorite eyeliner of, well, do I want to say of all time? Well, my favorite all-time eyeliner as of late has been the Jordana Cat Eyeliner, and I use the color Black Leather, and you can pick this up at the drugstore. I get mine from Walgreens. And you know, I'm able to use most drugstore eyeliners without a problem, but I like this because it's black. I like the brush. It's very thin, and it's actually a brush. It's not like a felt tip. And so it's like you're just painting, you know? So that line doesn't look perfect, but the line doesn't look perfect either, but that's how black it is. And you know, it's a pretty flexible wand. I like it a lot. It's good. Okay, my favorite highlighter is actually a cream highlighter, and as someone with oily skin, usually my favorite formulation of something is not cream because it kind of emphasizes my pores and just makes me look more oily and sweaty and gross. My favorite one is Chudo from ColourPop. It's their Super Shock Cheek formulation, so it's in that bouncy cream formula, and it's a beautiful, I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like it's rose gold, champagne, and magic all mixed in. Oh my gosh, when you swatch this, it just feels so cooling and nice to the touch. I love the Super Shock formula. And here's a swatch. It really works well on my skin tone. And ColourPop has so many Super Shock Cheek highlighters. So they're bound to have a shade that's really good for your skin tone. These highlighters are very cheap. I think like $8, so definitely check out their website. Yeah, check them out. They're awesome. I bought like 2 backups of this because it's my favorite. You would know that my favorite high-end foundation is Estee Lauder Double Wear. I am in the shade Rich Caramel, and my favorite drugstore foundation is the L'Oreal Infallible Matte, and I'm usually the shade Soft Sable. Sometimes I mix in Cocoa if I feel that Soft Sable is too light, but for instance today I'm just wearing Soft Sable and it's a good match for me. But the reason why I love Double Wear is because this was one of the first foundations that actually matched me without me having to mix it. They have a very wide color range. Also, this foundation, it says it's Double Wear Stay in Place, and it stays in place all day despite my oily skin. Another thing I notice about it is when you first apply it, it just looks like any kind of standard full coverage foundation. But then as it sets, it just creates almost like a second skin. It smooths over all of your pores, it smooths over the lines, and you just look amazing. You just look so much better. So what I love the most about this foundation is how it sets and how it wears. It wears so beautiful. It doesn't break down. It just truly works with your skin. And the same thing with this L'Oreal Infallible Matte. It's long wearing, it's affordable because this is a drugstore foundation. Each drugstore will have slightly different price, but it's very affordable, and it's often in buy one get one half off sales at Ulta or at CVS or Walgreens. It is very light on the skin. So it says that the finish is demi-matte. It says that it has 24-hour wear, and it says that it's medium coverage. For me, I feel like it's full coverage, or maybe it's medium full, like medium buildable, I should say. And the texture, it says, is air light. Can you see that? Texture, air light, and they are so right. When you put this on, you do not feel like you have on heavy foundation, at least for me. You do not feel like you know, you just have stuff that's gonna gum up and like sweat off your face throughout the day. So I really, really love that about this foundation. It's the best. And these have been my favorites, like this year, last year. Like, I've loved these things for a long time, but this month I found a new combo that I really, really, really love, and it is Revlon Color Stay foundation mixed with the NYX Total Control. And in Revlon Color Stay, my shade is Caramel, and in the Total Control, my shade is Cappuccino. So when I first started wearing makeup, I used the Revlon Color Stay because that's what I saw my mom wearing, and so I figured, okay, let me try this. And it had an, you know, a formula for oily skin, and it says that it lasts 24 hours, and it's full coverage. So it was full coverage, so it had everything that I wanted, and I really loved this foundation when I first started using it. But over time, I felt like it would dry, like kind of chalky and flaky, even on my oily skin. And I found Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I was like, okay, I'm moving on to greener pastures. I found something better. So I kind of kicked it to the side, but I kind of always had it in my collection, but just wasn't using it. Then recently, NYX came out with this foundation, and it's a very runny, liquidy foundation. And like, this is done, so I don't even have any that I can like, oh, there you go. Very drip droppy, and it has a dropper, as you can see. So this is very pigmented, but it's also very light on the skin, whereas this is very pigmented, but it is like kind of a thicker cream. And this, I would say, has a satin to dewy finish. Depending on your skin tone, it will wear satin, or if you're more oily, it's gonna look dewy more quickly. When you put these two foundations together, it equals the Estee Lauder Double Wear. So Revlon Color Stay plus the NYX Total Control equals Estee Lauder. I feel I've been wearing this combo daily for my everyday makeup and for special occasion makeup, and it lasts all day and it wears so well. So I'm so impressed with this combination, and I'm happy that I didn't give up on Color Stay. My mom never gave up on it. She keeps wearing it, even though I told her, oh, this foundation is chalky, like, why are you still wearing this? She kept wearing it, and now I am back on the Color Stay bandwagon. But I really like mixing it with this. I've mixed this with other foundations, and I haven't gotten the same effect as mixing it with this. So this is a match made in heaven. I can't talk about foundations without talking about concealers, and you guys already know that my favorite concealer of all time is gonna be the Tarte Shape Tape. Yes, I have 4 of these, and I have 4 different shades. Okay, let's see. This shade is Deep, and this is the closest to my skin tone. And I've used this so much that I had to remove the little stopper that was in it so that I could get in there and get the rest of the product out. But this is the shade Deep. I could swatch it, but I don't want to waste it. Then I have the shade Rich. I recently got this in the Ulta Platinum member sale where you got 20% off. This is in the shade Rich, and this is like a cool chocolate brown. And I use this now for contouring on special occasion days, which to me is like Sundays or when I have special, other special occasions. That's Rich. Then I have Medium. So this is the shade that I use to highlight with. I put this underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, forehead. Medium wasn't giving me that oomph that I wanted, so I mixed the shade Light Medium Honey. And this is the lightest shade that I have, and I mix it with Medium, and it gives me the perfect highlight shade. What I love about the Tarte Shape Tape, I love the packaging. It's really cute. I love how big the tubes are. I love the doe foot applicator and also the size of the doe foot applicator. It's very big and you can just spread a lot of product at once without having to dip a lot into the tube. I also love the formula because it has botanical ingredients in it that makes the concealer act like skincare, and so it's hydrating to the face. And even as somebody with oily skin, you do need hydration. But this product, although it's hydrating, it's not too oily. I think sometimes companies mistake hydrating with creating an oil slick, and that's not the case. So because it's hydrating, it plumps up the skin and makes the skin look very smooth and nourished and glowy and beautiful. And this does the same thing that the Estee Lauder Double Wear does, whereas you put it on your face and it kind of just looks like how any concealer looks. But as it sets, it becomes this angelic second skin, and it wears so well. It doesn't crease. It lasts so long. I don't know how long it claims to last, but it lasts very long, 16 hours or more. So I highly recommend the Tarte Shape Tape. You can pick this up from the Tarte website or exclusively at Ulta. Sephora does not sell this, so that's a major plus for Ulta. Ulta's definitely glowing up in 2017. They're adding a lot of brands to their store, and it's amazing to see that Ulta got this deal because these concealers are bomb. I love them. Love them. Oh, I forgot to talk about another brow product that I picked up this month that I love. It is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Frame and Set. I picked it up because it's a brow pomade, and you all know about the Anastasia Dip Brow, which I do love. But I wanted to pick this up because I thought it'd be a good drugstore option. This is a good eyebrow gel, but it's not the same as Dip Brow. It has a different consistency. It's almost like a gel powder. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I do enjoy using it. So if you're looking for a cheap brow pomade, I think that this is worth a try. And even though I have dark brows, I do like using this color, Light Brunette. It's a taupey color, so I lay this down to just add a shadow to my brows, and then I can deepen it with my brow powder. I am a self-proclaimed brush girl, meaning when it comes to putting on makeup, I love using brushes, but sponges do have their place, and I have been loving using beauty sponges in April. And one beauty sponge I wanted to mention was this Walgreens beauty sponge. Sorry if there's staining on there, but I got this from Walgreens. This is actually a body sponge, but I use it for my face, and it's kind of like a flattened teardrop shape. I love the texture of it. It's very squishy. It blends out your makeup beautifully. And I think it's only like $5.99, so I recommend that you pick it up. When you wet it, it gets like almost as big as my hand. It gets really big. This is the Real Techniques blending sponge, and this is the body sponge. They have a face sponge that is about, I'd say, half the size. So this is also meant to be used on the body, but I do use this on the face, and this is it dry, so when you wet it, it gets as big as my hand. It's great. I love the pointed end. I love the, shaved off, chiseled end, and then the rounded sides, and it's squishy. It's a very good texture for a beauty sponge. This is also a Real Technique sponge. They have really good textures for their sponges, and the shapes work well. I use this big end to put on my foundation, and then I use the small end to put on my concealer. This is new to my sponge collection. This is the Eco Tool sponge. This comes in a set with this light green one and then a deeper green one, and I love using this end for foundation and this part for concealer and this part for like dabbing highlighter, but you can use this part for foundation too. It's a great texture, and I love the color of it. Another thing about these sponges are they're made out of plant materials, so it's a sustainable product and biodegradable. So that's awesome. And not only do I love the Real Techniques sponges and the EcoTool sponges. I also love their brushes. I've been using the Real Techniques and EcoTool brushes since I've started using makeup brushes. I think this is called the buffer brush. The name has rubbed off it, but I've had these brushes for so long and they last so well with washing. That's why I recommend that you buy these brushes, because I've had these for years and I've washed them so many times. I usually wash my brushes like every 2 weeks or so. I have a lot of brushes, so I wash them every 2 weeks and they have lasted year after year. The ferrules are so nice. I love how the Real Techniques company made their brush ferrules. No other brush company was doing this before they did it, and I think that adds to the longevity of their brushes. I love Real Techniques and EcoTools. I highly recommend it. So recently I was browsing Instagram, as I do on a daily basis, and I was on the EcoTools page and I saw that they had the EcoTools 10-year anniversary set, and they were giving away the set, but they also had a few on the website to purchase, and I believe it was for $70. Since I never ordered from EcoTools before, they offered a 20% off coupon, I believe, and this is offered to anybody. I'm not an affiliate of EcoTools or any brand, so if you go on EcoTools for the first time to order something, you can get a 20% off coupon, if I'm remembering right. And I jumped at the opportunity to get this to add to my kit, so I'm going to open it here with you today. I've waited today to open it, and it came wrapped very nicely and securely. And let's see if I can open this. Ooh. Okay, so you get past the bubble wrap and then you get this. Okay. So you still got to take off this like plastic bag. So you open up the box and look at this. Gorgeous. So let me pull this out. Oh, this is so cool. So it's this wooden box. I was not expecting this. It's this wooden box with EcoTools wrapped around it. You can even slide this off. Oh, it's secured with a sticker. I'm just ripping everything. Ugh. Okay. But having it in a wooden box definitely goes with their, you know, earthy nature theme. And then you have this plastic covering that you can slide off. Oh, and this is a pretty legit thing. Wow, I did not expect it to be packaged so nicely. So it comes with it comes with these 2 new sponges. So this is the other sponge. This is dirty, so that's why I didn't show you. I mean, this isn't dirty, but the other one I have is dirty. Right, so it comes with these 2 sponges that they just came out with, which are awesome. Yeah, this is a beautiful collection. I think that for people who don't have brushes, this would be a great gift to get them, or even to get yourself. And I'm planning to use this in my kit. I wish I could keep this in its packaging because it's really awesome, but I'm definitely going to use this box for something else. Like, I'm not going to throw this box away. But this is great, and I'm happy I could open it with you guys.